All right. Okay, we are going to start something new in math today. I'm excited because it's a brand new skill and it's going to help us when we learn how to add within 100. So far this year we've been working on adding to 20 and place value, and we're going to kind of use those same things to help us learn how to add up to 100, okay? One thing that we're going to need to help us with that is an open number line. Okay, so before we get started with the lesson, an open number line is a tool that will help us work with larger numbers. An open number line does not have every number on it. The great thing about open number lines is you can start them with whatever number you want to. Okay? With any number you want to. So look at this open number line on the board. Put a thumb at your heart if you can tell me what number does it start with?
25.
Harrison?
25.
25. What number does it end with?
35.
Hudson?
35.
35. Good. Okay, so now look at this point. My question for you is, if we're looking at this open number line, there are not any numbers on it between 25 and 35. So, what would this point be if there was a number? Hold it at your heart when you think you got an idea. Okay, I see most of your thumbs. That tells me that most of you have a thought for what you think this number would be on the number line. Try to tell your partner what you think and why.
I'm guessing 30. So if
What would be why do you think that? Okay, I got to hear a couple conversations near me. So finish up your conversation.
I think it's going to be how close the number is.
Okay, if you can hear me, clap once, clap twice. Okay, does anyone want to share what they think, but also telling me why they think that? Flynn, what do you think that this number would be right
I
here?
think it's 31 because it doesn't look exactly in the middle.
Okay.
And I know 30 is in the middle, so because 25 plus 5 equals 30, and 35 minus 5 equals 30. And one more might be right there.
Might be right here is what you're thinking. So I'm just going to make sure that we all understood what Flynn said. So first, Flynn, did you find where the middle was? Okay, and Flynn said, I think that 25 plus 5 is 30, and 35 minus 5 is 30. So if the middle is right about here, then Flynn says he thinks this would be 31. Okay, I see a couple of me too's. Okay, does anyone else have a different thought? Someone who does not think that this number is 31. Anne can tell me why they think that. Charlotte, what do you think?
Me and Jace both think that it is 33 because of just looking at how big like the numbers are. So we used our fingers for each number and we like moved on and we made an estimate that it would be 33.
Okay, when you say you looked at how big the numbers are, do you mean you like looked at how big this is?
Mm-hmm.
And so you did like 25, 26 like this, 27? And so you guys think that if I kept that going, that this would be 33, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, so today what we're going to do, you can put your hands down. If we have time later, we can look at another number line and try to figure out what the point is. But today what we're going to do is we're going to use open number lines to help us add tens. So before we do that, look at the hundreds chart. And I want you guys to help me skip count by tens to 100.
Right.
You ready?
Then we go to
10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60,
70, 80, 90, 100.
Okay, what do you notice happened as we were skip counting by tens to 100? Try to tell a friend, what did you notice happen?
I noticed that they were saying by 10. They always put all of them together. Right. Yeah, we skipped the same. We just kept it. Yeah, we skipped all
every time. I was listening to Claire and Adeline talk, and Claire said she noticed that the tens place changed. And Adeline said that she noticed that the ones place didn't change at all, that the ones place always had zeros in it. Did you notice something similar?
Yep. No, that's not the same thing.
Okay, I want you guys to look at 31. I put a little box right here at 31. Okay, do you see 31?
Yes.
If we added 31 plus 10, what would the sum be? Thank you for not yelling it out so everyone can see. 31 plus 10. Charlie, what do you think? 41. Okay. I see some friends that are agreeing. Okay. Oh, hold on 1 second. Sorry. Okay. If we add 10 to 31, we would make a jump of 10 and we would have 41. Okay. What if we added another 10? So we're at 41 and we added another 10. What do you think would happen? Carrington? 51. It would be another jump of 10, wouldn't it? What if we continued this pattern, adding 10? Do you think we would ever get to the number 100? Hold it. Oh. If we continued this pattern, 31 plus 10 is 41. 41 plus 10 equals 51. 51 plus 10 is the same as 61. Do you think we would ever get to 100? Hold it at your heart. Turn and tell your friend what you think.
If we're doing like the ones in that column, we're not gonna get to
If you can hear me, clap one. All right, I heard a lot of conversations saying no, that we would not get to 100. A lot of friends told me what we would get to if we continued the pattern. Who can tell me what we would get to if we continued this pattern? Grayson? 101. Yeah, because we're going down the ones column, skip counting by 10.
The ones all have one.
Okay, here's 27. If we add 10 to it, can you hold at your heart what you think the sum would be?
37.
At your heart, can you hold it? That way all of our friends have time to think. Okay, whisper it to your hand. Throw it to me.
37.
I agree. We would do one jump of 10. There's 10 that we're adding, so we would add one jump of 10. Okay, look at this next problem. 62 plus 30. This one doesn't have a 100 chart for us to use, does it? It does have something though that we used a lot before with our base 10 blocks. Here's 62, 6 tens, 2 ones, and here I'm adding 3 tens. What is 3 tens the same as? Lucas?
30.
30. So if I'm adding 62 plus 30, I can use base 10 blocks to help me figure that out as well. Then I have this many. I put them together. I combined them. Take a second and look and see what it would be. Will you help me skip count the tens and add the ones? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 91, 92. So 62 plus 30 would equal 92. Okay. Here is another one, but before we do this one, I'm going to pause. Flynn, are you okay, sweetie?
Yeah?
Okay, I want us to watch this short video. It's pretty short, so we need to make sure, Flynn and Carrington, that we're paying very close attention because it is very short.
55 plus 20 equals what number? Start at 55 on an open number line. 20 is the same as 2 tens, so count on 2 tens. 55, 65, 75. 55 plus 20 equals 75.
Did you see how they used the open number line to show jumps of 10? They started with 55, and they knew that 20 is the same as 2 tens. So they did a jump of 10 plus another jump of 10 to get the sum. Okay, right now we are going to do the same thing together on a problem. Give our little board a second. I know, sometimes we call it a sloth board. It just takes a minute, doesn't it? If it doesn't come up in just a second, then we'll just use the whiteboard next to me. That was a lot of teachers using it, wasn't it? Okay, so you guys have your whiteboards. Go ahead and open your markers, and I want you to copy the same equation that's on the board at the top. Okay. Don't solve it. I'm not wanting you to solve it yet. Just copy it down so that you have the same thing on your board that I have on my board. Okay, underneath the equation, you're going to draw your own open number line just like me. You'll notice that the open number line doesn't have numbers yet, and that the arrows tell us that numbers are on both sides of the number line. When you have your number line drawn on your whiteboard, give me a thumbs up so I know you're ready. Good job. Okay, so we get to decide with an open number line to put the starting number at whatever we want. To solve this problem, let's start with 38. Did you see how I put the 38 on this far side? That's because I'm going to be adding 40, and I'm going to need this much room to get there. Good, Eden, that's perfect. Good, Jace. Good, Charlie. Okay, it wants me to add 40 in this equation. Can someone put the thumb at their heart and tell me how many tens do I need to add if I'm adding 40? Marley?
4.
I need to add 4 tens, right? So I need to do 4 jumps of 10 to figure out what the sum of this equation is. So here's how I make a jump. Are you ready? Oh. Here's one jump. Now when I'm using an open number line, I want to tell what it is that I'm jumping. So here I've just made a jump of 10. Before I can make my next jump though, I need to figure out what am I at right here. What is 38 plus 10?
48.
48. So do you see how I'm putting the 48 right there? So how many jumps of 10 have we made so far? 1. How many more do we need to make for this equation?
3.
3 more. Let's do our second jump. So you go from 48. Your next jump of 10, notice that above my jump, I tell what I did. I added 10. Then I have to decide what number am I at now. I was at 48. I added 10. What is that now? 58. So I had to do 4 jumps of 10, Marley told us. So far, how many jumps of 10 have we done?
2.
2. So we need to do
1 more. 2 more.
2 more. 1, 2. I need 2 more jumps of 10. I'm going to show that I added 10. So 58 plus 10 is the same as
68.
68. Now I've done 3 jumps of 10. 10, 20, 30. If I ever forget how many I've already added, that's one reason we put it above our jumps, because I can easily say I've added 10 plus 10 plus 10. So far I've added 30. My equation says to add 40, so I'm going to add 1 more jump of 10. 68 plus 10 is the same as 78. And that should be our sum, because we started at 38. We added 40 by doing 4 jumps of 10. And that is our sum. Good job. We're going to do one more together. So go ahead and use your eraser and erase your number lines. When your board is erased, you can go ahead and make an open number line again and copy down this equation. 22 plus 60. Okay. Looks like almost all of us are ready. Okay, what number should we start our number line with?
22.
Okay, let's start with 22. That's what we heard. 22. And I'm going to add how many? 60. Can you imagine how long it would take if we did 23, 24, 25, 26, and we counted on by ones? That's one reason that counting on by tens is such a great skill to know how to do, because now that we're getting into some really challenging math, it helps to not have to count on by ones. So if we're adding 60, how many groups of 10 do we need to add? 6. Groups of 10 is the same as 60. So we make one jump of 10, and that would give us 22 plus 10. I see it on some of your whiteboards, 32. Okay, go ahead and finish the rest of the problem using your open number line. You're adding 60, which is 6 jumps of 10 plus 10. Gives you 32. Okay, don't forget, whenever you make a jump in your jump, so this is another plus 10. Good job. I almost ran out of number line. I was about to have to make my number line bigger. That can happen sometimes, can it? Yeah, I noticed that some of your 10s were really big at first and you had to go back and kind of make them a little smaller too. I almost had to do that too.
I tried making them faster by doing 20, but that was harder.
Oh, you were going to try to add 20, like a jump of 20? Oh, I want to talk to you more about that later. Okay, all right. So when you add 6 jumps of 10, then you will get the answer to 22 plus 60 is a sum of 82. All right, there's one story problem that I want to leave you with, and then we're going to start our must do. So go ahead and erase your whiteboards. This one, though, I just want us to do together. So you can cap your markers. You'll have some story problems on your must do page, so you guys can try a few on your own. Okay, let's see if you can have your markers capped in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I love that Lucas's marker is not even near his hands. That shows me he's going to give me his attention on our last problem. Okay, you have 34 feathers and collect 50 more. Your friend has 85 feathers. Who has more feathers? Before we solve it, let's decide which information is important for us to solve this. You have 34 feathers. Is that important for us to know?
Yes.
Okay, you collect 50 more. Is that important for us to know?
Yes.
Okay, your friend has 85 feathers. Is that important?
Yes.
Okay, and then the question, who has more feathers? Is the question important?
Yes.
The question tells us what kind of gives us a clue about what we need to solve, doesn't it? So it seems like all of this information is important. Okay, you have 34 feathers and collect 50 more. Turn and tell a friend what you think your first step should be for this problem. Okay, math friends. I've kind of heard Jason, Charlie both telling the same thing to their partners. They both were saying that they would need to figure out what 34 plus 50 is. So, and Charlie said I would do 34 and I would do 5 jumps of 10 to figure out how many that is. So since you guys are just watching it, will you tell me what numbers I should put along the number line? 44 plus 10 is?
54.
54, sorry. Plus another 10. 64. So far I've added 10, 20, 30, plus another 10. What would 64 plus 10 be? 74. And then one last jump of 10, 84. That tells me I've added 50, 5 jumps of 10. So we have 54 and your friend has 50, I'm sorry, we have 84, and our friend has 85. Who has more feathers? Which of these numbers is greater? 85 is greater.
So your friend has
By one. Marley took it, Marley took it one step further. She said, our friend just has one more feather than us. We were so close, weren't we? If only we collected one more. Okay, so my friends, today what you're going to do is you're going to practice using an open number line on your must-do pages. And then here in a minute, once you guys get started, I'll switch it over to the may-do board. Okay? All right, quietly go back to your seats and get started. Workstation. I noticed you guys were working on it, and I saw Jace was drawing out dots to get there. And I'm wondering if we can use an open number line to try to solve it. You guys want to try to see if we can? Okay. Okay. What's in there?
So we have a skinny marker, and then we have these little blocks, and inside of these there's little 2 dice.
Which you're using for this game right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So pretty much anytime you pull out like a fluency game like this, you have kind of all the tools that you need to play it. Yeah.
And this is the cool part.
Yeah.
Inside there is this, and inside of this there's
Dominoes. Look at that. Can you play fluency games with dominoes? Like math games?
Yeah, but we've never played one.
You haven't gotten to play one yet?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure, I think she's gonna do a game where we have the dominoes and add them together, the 2 numbers on them together, and then we write the,
Oh yeah, and you haven't gotten there yet.
yeah, we have done that one.
Okay.
That's the other one.
So is that like your fluency folder right there? Yeah.
Instead of doing a jump of 10, what if we did a jump of 20? What would 40 plus 20?
60.
Yeah. And so if you have that,
Saw a Big Ideas mini lesson. Can you just tell us a little bit about what we saw and how you make some of the Big Ideas resources work for a math workshop?
yeah, so this was the first lesson in chapter 3. So it was the introduction lesson for this whole chapter. So it was a little bit longer than normal, but the kids just really needed to know the vocabulary and what an open number line was. So we really spent a little bit more time with that. And then when I look at the Big Ideas lessons, I just try to look at what parts can I cover whole group, and then what parts can I follow up with in small groups? What parts can I use to reteach the kids that aren't getting it during the whole group lesson? And then which kids understand it and don't need the extra practice? So when I look at it, I like to cover the Explore and Grow by just kind of modeling it for them and asking them a lot of guiding questions. And then I save a lot of the Apply and Grow for reteaching. So the whole section about Apply and Grow and the workbook page that goes with Apply and Grow, I kind of set that aside, and that's for any students I see that are struggling during the whole group lesson or just have deficits like that I know are going to need extra support to get them to what they need to be at on the level of the lesson. And then the independent practice is the practice page that I do. Other than that, they actually don't have the other workbook pages. I do use the numbers and the equations that the Big Ideas lesson provides. I just, instead of them flipping the pages and tearing them out, I found that it saves a lot of time to use whiteboards, but use the same equations and like the meat of the lesson, and just kind of it saves the time and helps cut down on the amount of time that they're in whole group so that they can spend more time in their small group rotations.